All right, you guys, so as soon as we open the box, you're going to have your printer ink that you are going to use to set up the printer, and it is going to give you enough ink, of course, to use it. So you got your black cartridge there. The remaining cartridges are the color cartridges. You have a power cable and a manual as well inside the box, but this, of course, is very important for you to set up your printer. Okay, so now we are turning on the printer and we have unboxed it. Now what we're doing is setting it up. So your power button is actually right on the top corner there, and this printer is made that way. And now you are just going through the settings, whatever country you're in. Very quickly installing the ink. This process comes right after a couple of questions on the setup. So as soon as you flip down the front part of the printer, the front latch, if you will, you are installing your ink, and it's very, very easy. You press your ink right in there, your black and color. Now, of course, I will leave a link in the description below for you to purchase some less expensive HP ink for this printer, because you can set up to where it automatically orders it for you, but that is going to be some expensive ink. I'm going to provide you with some remanufactured ink. Okay, so now you're going through the rest of the setup. You're loading a piece of paper so that it prints out an alignment page. Now this bottom paper tray is going to hold 250 pages roughly, and you've got about 60 pages that it can hold on the output. So on the output tray, which is the top tray where the paper comes out, it can hold, it's a little bit less than the HP Officejet 8710, but I'll go into that a little bit later as far as the comparison between the two, because that is the main printer that is being compared to this printer here. This is the newest model of that printer. So at this point, you're just waiting for this page to print out. And once this is printed, you're pretty much ready to go. You just fly through some other setup questions. Okay, so at this point, you do have a scanner, so you are scanning the alignment page that was just printed out. Okay, like I said, you're going through some of these settings. Of course, you want to take this slow and set up a lot of this stuff, because there are things on here that you will need. I'm flying through it because just for the sake of time here and just to show you guys. But a lot of this stuff is setting up your network connection, setting up some other things that you're going to need to install apps onto your printer. Now, one of the biggest things here is the ability to create a shortcut. And as you see here, you do have a touch screen, which is very, very good. I like that about this printer. Any printer nowadays that has a touch screen, I mean, that's what we're all expecting. We don't expect any less. So you can check your ink there. If you slide from the top down, you can take a look at your network connection and some other options along with your settings as well. Okay, so how this matches up and is a little bit is different than the 8710 is your searchable documents and your ability to create those shortcuts, as I mentioned before. You also have a lot of new built-in security for your Wi-Fi, for your password protection. Of course, you have wireless printing with your smartphone device. You are able to print wirelessly. You can also sync QuickBooks, Google Drive, and a lot of other organizational office type apps. That is a big plus there. So you have a lot of these new features. As far as the software, now going into the physical product, of the actual printer itself, you do have a smaller printer here. You have your top paper tray. That is, to me, is a big deal. And you have a scanner as well. But compared to the 8710, this is a printer that is going to be lighter. It's going to be easier to use. You got little nooks and crannies here that are very helpful in usability. And you've got a USB input right there on the side, which is going to allow you to print photos. So overall, a very, very efficient printer, in my opinion. It's lightweight compared to some of the other office jets, and especially compared to the 8710. Now what I'm doing here is I'm removing the paper tray, the output paper tray, and the bottom paper tray there. You can easily remove all that if you need to. If you need to load up a lot of paper on that bottom paper tray, it's very easy to just remove the whole thing. I really like the new style as well, the white on the front and then, the gray on top and bottom. So the design is very nice, something that we haven't seen before from HP, but I think this is a lot more sleek if you're in an office and you need to be presentable, or even at a home office. This is going to look very, very nice sitting on a desk. Of course, the software functionality is extremely important, but the look of it, HP is improving that a whole lot.